Hey guys, it's me Nes, and I'm going to talk about NXT's February 10th review. So, overall, in this episode, it is considered to be, I guess you can argue, a good start for mostly for other talents that were, you know, new to the roster. And I know some people would say some stuff about how about the old ones, but it's gonna be, alright. But we're gonna discuss about how this show became a good show. It's not really that, bad, but there were a few scenes that we could see some storylines that has been told in this episode. So first of all, we get the Joe Hendry era begins. So I'm looking at the WWE.com results so that I could fully remember because I did watch it yesterday of NXT, but now we're gonna discuss about how it is. So yes, Joe Henry era begins with a open segment. Later on, vanity projects, meaning those three dudes who, looks like in the college prat or anything like a college group guys, yeah, comes in and then yeah, they beat the brakes out of Joe and Jackson Drake got the championship up because later it was revealed for Joe Henry versus Jackson Drake for the NXT championship. Then after that, we get to our first match, Jada Parker versus Blake Monroe, but it ends in a double countout. And the thing is about Jada, she kinda, put securities out of the way to almost kick one in the barricade. So yes, basically they're trying to make her look strong as Blake Monroe goes out to the crowd in shocks of everything, knowing that Jada's gonna become a strong individual leading up to her journey before she goes to the main roster. Then we get to our before that, the match they have, it was good. It was, even if it ends in a double count, it's good because they kind of show more time. I prefer this one over the Natalia versus Maxine. I don't know what the hell are they doing at Raw, but still, this is way better. It's kind of odd though why NXT is way better than what we get in the main roster, but in some aspects. Next, we get Eli Knight defeated Josh Briggs. This is the second match. So I thought that this is I said it last week, Ilio Fluffer is going to face against Jasper Troy, but I was wrong. It became Eli Knight versus Josh Briggs that Eli Knight wins, so he is going to face against Ilio Fluffer for the finals. Before, meaning Jasper Troy, but Jasper Troy also entered after Ilio and Knight shook hands, and then yeah, basically trying to make a statement. But goes to show that they kind of make sense why they put LaFleur and Knight for the finals because they're both, athletic and high flyer individuals. So this is going to be a crazy type of match in the finals. Next one, we get Tony D'Angelo demolish Dark State in an epic fight. This is what happened because the tag team division was more focused, and I feel like the NXT tag team division is way better than the Raw ones. No offense to the Raw tag teams, it's just that it wouldn't make sense. That's why the thing is about here, um, before Tony D made the move to attack, I think it was their leader, Lennox, and then the other guy, um, it was Butler, I think, or I'm not sure. It's not Sugars and it's not the other dude, but yes, basically the tag teams, OTM, and then I would say I think Hank and Tay was also there. They beat the crap out of these individuals in one side, and the other side you got the calling on the top, and then D'Angelo out of nowhere attacked the two members because he did say that he's going after the Dark State, and then after that we don't know what's next for him. Maybe an NXT Championship match for him. Who knows? After that, we get to a third match, which is Joe Hendry successfully defend against Jackson Drake. So it's kind of bit, you know, a good match as well. It's not really that much of a disappointing because of course Jackson Drake is, I'm not sure how old is this guy, but he's, I can see him winning the NXT champion because the fact that this guy has some type of, talent that he can wrestle. He has that style that he can, do what he is for a young dude. But of course, it will take him time. We don't know when he'll be champ, but for now, you got the guy, Joe Hendry, defend. What matters is that he defeated the Evolve champion. And I thought that the Evolve champion is already losing because of what happened in Evolve in the episode where this group tries to make a statement. But, I didn't watch the latest one, but we'll get that in the future. But I'm sure that once Drake drops the Evolve champion, he's going after the, champions in NXT. Most specifically, NXT champion is the one goal that he's gonna go, unless he's gonna win the North American champion. But who knows? But they have a bright future. Of course, the two members of Vanity Project got thrown out because of the interference, and that's a good part. But still, what a good way to for Joe to defend his championship. Next, this is the fourth match. Vanity Project, the two guys, defeated Hank and Tank because Jackson Drake interfered. So of course this is, they're trying to push Vanity Project to the top. I think they're trying to make them notice. Sean wanted to make them notice because they're involved. But this is a good way for them to introduce a good tag team as well. But of course not a good ending. But in the end, it was alright for me. And then we get to the main events. Saruka defeated Wen QCC, but here's the catch because last week Robert Stone said that whoever pins would challenge JC Jane for the NXT Women's Championship, which is I think next week in Atlanta, Georgia. And here's the thing because Zaruka, prior to all this, was always frustrated because Soruk is getting all the opportunity. And recently, because she's part of Sheamus' workout, which is gonna make her, if they make her a storyline out of it, you know how it is. And that would be a nice way to touch on how to progress a story. But still, this is a good match, the main event. And of course, this was Kendall Gray's, I guess you could argue, is her first pinfall loss. Because she was, they're pushing her so strong to the point that one day she became NXT Women's Champion. But for now, this is all about Solruka and Zarya because I get the feeling that Zarya is gonna cost Solruka her opportunity by the championship by next week. We're gonna have her. I guess we could have the first. You could argue the heel turn, but we don't know if that's gonna happen. Of course, Stand and Delivers around the corner, the future after the Elimination Chamber, then Stand and Deliver time. But we'll see. But overall, I would say that this is a good match. So Ruka got the pinfall win, so that means we're going to see her winning. Well, not really winning, because I feel like if JC Jane is like, I don't know what's next for her though, because she already accomplishes a lot in NXT. I don't know if she could still stay after Stand and Deliver. So if this is a thing where okay, so Ruka's gonna win, and then Zarya is going to be like, I'll challenge you, and then you got a Jason Jane her final NXT match. Who knows? But I could guarantee you that um, next week it's gonna get crazy because we get a fatal four-way number one contenders. We also got, for them, Soul versus JC Jane, but who knows? We'll find out next week. So overall, my thoughts on NXT, it was a good, show. Like, of course, they did it way better than what Raw did. The double countout situation, the, introducing a title defense from NXT champion Joe Hendry, proceeding to have these storylines. I feel like that I get more understanding about the storyline in NXT than the main roster. I don't know why the main roster right now is kind of, bad. Like I know some people say it's bad ever since, but it's like there were like hit and misses at times. But NXT for now they did a good job, building young talent and at the same time uh make stories good. So I hope that they're gonna continue NXT this good because I can imagine how this brand is gonna continue growing So that's basically it for my review. So I guess this is episode 6, but I want to say, thank you for watching, guys. We'll see each other in episode 7 on SmackDown. Once again, thank you for watching. We'll see each other in the next video, guys. Peace.